And season by season, DTR got better at the position under Chip Kelly's tutelage.
See the pocket fundamentals, and that is a bullet, a strike to the 35-yard line. 20 yards downfield to Brandon Inniss, who's on his way to Texas. Moore now on third down from the 20, fires over the middle, touchdown East. And he was knocked down in the process. Hits Jaylen Brown, the future LSU Tiger.
UCLA fans, they're going to hope he's not under this type of duress during his collegiate career, but you do see the moxie of a young football player with multiple oncoming rushers delivering a strike into the end zone.
Ruben Owens, the tailback, he pitches, and another issue there in the backfield. Ball on the ground, and inside the 10, it looks like the East pounced on it. West wanted to start with that wide receiver reverse. Ball ended up on the ground, and the East recovers.
We spoke to Ruben Owens. He was telling us he had a desire to be the one actually in position to throw this pass if they went with a double reverse. They tried to get it to Mikhail Harrison-Pilot to catch the defense off guard. But again, all-star week. You haven't repped these things very much. The precision it takes to execute. Really credit to the East to be able to take advantage defensively.
Tailback now is Mark Fletcher, who will play at Miami. Moore has one touchdown toss. Will he have two? And the answer is yes. This time it is Brandon Inniss, the future Buckeye.
At the snap of the football, knowing that he's got a very talented wideout one-on-one and all that space available to him towards the corner. So that's the precision you're hoping for. Not only in an all-star week, but at any point where you're throwing a player open. If he throws it too short, there's an opportunity for the defender, Micah Bell, to make a play on the football there, but he takes advantage of the green grass towards the back pylon.
That's the level of recruiting, that's the level of talent and the level of development that Heartland's been able to do since he's been in Columbus.
The long side kick, it's not going to cooperate and go 10 yards. It stopped at 8.
Well, Will Stein was a high school coach, and Novosad went to some of his football camps.
He had some private lessons with him as well. Goes to his left, and that one's knocked down.
Aiden Childs is a good example to me as well of how people on the outside tend to view recruiting as this myopic thing where they're all interested in the same factors.
And Childs over the middle, that's Rodney Gallagher. Tripped wideouts to his left, and he goes up the middle to Justice Haynes. Good spin out of the tackle. Out near the 35, he fumbled the football, and the West gets on it.
He said from your sister Cameron, who was a soccer player, it was all about getting over adversity. She made it through 2 ACLs, another big play on the field.
Again, former athlete here and the current head coach at Notre Dame. East squad up 14-3, and that's a heck of a move in the pocket, and this will be a touchdown for the East. Ruben Owens, the #1 tailback in the nation. We'll see more of that at Texas A&M. The catch and the run for a touchdown. Pardon me, that was Mark Fletcher. And he'll be on his way to Miami.
You referenced the pretty move in the pocket, Paul. Childs keeping his eyes down the field, climbing vertically into the pocket. You love those mechanics as a passer. Doesn't run sideways. And as he climbed vertically, it drew the eyes of the defensive backfield towards him. That opened up the lane down the field for Mark Fletcher. 6'2", 225 in the open field.
I felt like it was probably best for our program to find another older guy that could come in here and really enhance our roster. And Sam is a perfect fit. You know, not only just being a great quarterback, but a great teammate. And that's what you have to be cautious of when you start looking in the transfer portal for specific positions of guys that are going to enhance your roster. You got to find the right fit, and I'm more excited about Sam, the teammate, than maybe even about him as a quarterback. He's going to make our team better, and I'm excited for our future.
Hey, Marcus Freeman, congratulations on the strong finish to the season with the win in the Gator Bowl. Thanks for your time today. Look forward to seeing you soon in South Bend.
All right, thanks, man.
Marcus Freeman, head coach at Notre Dame, and Marcus, former defensive back, and appreciate the play by Caleb Downs, who will play at Alabama. This is the #1. He was voted the player of the year nationally, and he's the #1 safety in the class. Said he had a lot to do with the fact that this kicker is on the way there. 50-yarder on the way. Oh, it is good. 2 previous declarations. Caden Jones, offensive lineman, New Orleans to Florida. And that ball was tipped, partially blocked. And the East from the 50 and just inside the west side. Second ring class right now. Dante Moore over the middle. And check out the quickness now of Brandon Inniss. He'll play at Ohio State. And he's just inside the 30. Well-designed screenplay there for the future Buckeye. Dante Moore back in at quarterback. Drops back for the second time in a row. Over the middle. Little bit perfect. I thought it was going to be overthrown. Carnell Tate, good finishing job there. And that's the third touchdown toss for Dante Moore. And again, it is a ruin to a Buckeye. 6 points east.
A lot of young quarterbacks with the arm strength of Dante Moore don't really display the arm talent. And these are phrases that really get mixed up sometimes, because arm talent doesn't necessarily mean you just have a big arm. When you're a talented passer, you can throw receivers open like we've seen Dante Moore do multiple times during this game. He is so refined as a passer, being able to spot throw receivers he's only met a few days ago.
A year ago, we saw one of his teammates, Ernest Green, at St. John Bosco, sign or announce for Georgia. He signed with the Bulldogs. He's now back home in his backyard playing in Los Angeles on Monday night. And we're seeing a continued just focus out west for Georgia with this recruiting. Brock Bowers, with Keely Ringo, with Ernest Green a year ago, and now Peyton Woodyard. This moves Georgia to the #2 class nationally.
You can see him processing things on the go.
They got jerked.
Right back to the air, drilled in the backfield. Big hit between the hashes. Tamarian Parker, who will play at Clemson. David Olano, who will play at Illinois, 1 for 1. This is from 36 yards out. It is up, and he is having a heck of a day. 6 points on the board for him.
Looking forward to our opportunity at the halftime coming up here to talk to Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren. One of the things I'll be interested to talk to him about, just how everything is morphing around the sport.
Austin Novosad, well done to Quentin Joyner. Bought some extra time and a little flip to the left side. See if the west side can take advantage now. Novosad in trouble again. Sets up the screen. One-handed interception. We'll see if the East can turn into 6, and they cannot. But they will set up inside of West territory. Brennan Vernon on his way to Notre Dame.
You know, Marcus Freeman has to be pretty excited about that. The ball skills on display. Reaching out that left hand, just comfortably snatching it like he wants to get some tight end reps. Notre Dame's got to be becoming tight end in recent years here. We've seen some of these pass catchers of his similar stature going to the Irish and making plays at the tight end position. Who knows? Maybe not only a defensive lineman, they may have an offensive threat.
And right back to the air. Had the ball come out of his hands. And I can tell you, as a former quarterback, that happens about once a year. Now we come back east and play at Louisville. Dante Moore, the quarterback, hands off up the middle. Good quick feet there inside of West territory. And Justice Haynes, here he goes. You'll see this in the SEC at Alabama. And they finally bring him down on the 20-yard line. Out to the right, back to the middle. Big-time gain there for Justice Haynes.
We're seeing some volume carries for Justice Haynes here, which he is more than accustomed to. Into the teeth of the defense. Like I referenced earlier, he's a guy who's willing to press the hole, but when you get him out into the open field, he does have creativity as a ball carrier. He certainly has elusiveness when he's out in space. But you do have a bright future at a different position. He had to absorb that and make it work.
Moore, Haynes, touchdown east, and that is 4 touchdown passes for Dante Moore, and the first for a 5-star running back out of Georgia, Justice Haynes, today.
We haven't always seen Dante Moore have this type of time available in the pocket, but you do see he's willing to look, survey, hang in there, and then quickly flip it towards the outside, get it into the hands of his playmaker, Justice Haynes. It's funny to think about this Alabama offense, how that's evolved in the years we've been calling this game.
Dante Moore at UCLA. Perhaps they'll be dueling next year. We'll see how that turns out next November. West side needing some offense. We'll see if the special teams can spark them. This is TJ McWilliams, wide receiver, who will play at Minnesota. Lincoln Kienholz, future Buckeye, in trouble once again. He has not had a clean pocket all day. See if he can make something happen to his left. Sets up, fires this one into the end zone. Open man. There's a West touchdown. Well done, Lincoln Kienholz. On the receiving end, the tight end, Kamarian Pimpton, who will play for Brian Kelly at LSU.
We're seeing what Lincoln Kienholz is capable of, but then also on the back end of it, after evading defenders and again keeping his eyes down the field, We see him fire the ball just over the outstretched hands of a defender. Kamarian Pimpton, again, like we saw him do all throughout his high school career, boxing a guy out, going up power forward style, ringing in 6.
And in a lot of cases, the race is really on when you wake up on signing day. And this is Jaylen Brown. He'll play at LSU. He's got an alley down the right side. Big LSU return and also an LSU touchdown for the West. Feels like Oregon is going outside the Northwest as well.
They have, and they've been doing that a lot in the last few years, going down into Texas, going down to the Southeast, going into the Midwest, and really expanding their global brand. They are a global brand. They don't have a lot of elite players in the state of Oregon that they can recruit, so they have to recruit nationally, and Dan Lanning is continuing what Mario Cristobal has done.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. In the meantime, that's Trayon Webb. Had a nice run to the left and now gets into the end zone in the East, just building on that comfortable lead. Trayon will play at Florida. 7th grade, he was offered by the Miami Hurricanes and found his way to the Gators. And they've got more of that coming their way. He scored the touchdown. Rodney Gallagher is in the backfield. Wide receiver on his way to West Virginia. Takes the snap, runs it to the right side, and an easy lane across the stripe. Number 2 picks up 2 more points for the East.
And what an interesting story Tyler Scott is. This is a guy who was committed to Arkansas State, where Hugh Freeze once coached, started his senior year as a commit to Arkansas State.
He takes pride in the thought of what it was like back in the days of yore for the Vikings, all the battles they had to wage.
And right up the middle again from Alabama, that's Justice Haynes. In the game now, in the backfield, that is Nathaniel Joseph. Takes the snap to the right side. I think he's going to win that race across the stripe. Yes, he does. Same play they just ran for a 2-point conversion. And it works for a touchdown there.
Mark Fletcher for the U. All right, there's not another running back, Paul, whose film has as many outstanding blocks as the film of Mark Fletcher. So I just love the fact that a highlight tape not only had his great carries, but his outstanding blocks as well.
So the Alamo Dome spins both ways here for Texas. They had the loss in the Alamo Bowl the end of December, and a big win right there. Home run shot down the middle of the field. Perfectly thrown ball. And a touchdown for the West. Cordell Russell, thinking about the state of Texas, will play at TCU. The Horned Frogs on our mind for what's coming up for them on Monday night.
Beautiful pass by Lincoln Kienholz as well. Finally had a clean pocket to operate out of, just enough time. Hits that back foot, sees the matchup, and delivers it downtown to his playmaker. He threw a really catchable ball, had nice touch on it. Be able to feed it out there to him.
As we used to say in the meeting room, you caught it twice, huh?
It's a really pretty pass.